my fellow Americans, this is former President Barack Hussein Obama, and you're listening to the Mad Titan Podcast. Please be sure to support this young brother from Chicago, Jay Washington, because he's a funny bastard. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
I ignored my destiny once. I cannot do that again. Even for you. I'm the only one who knows that. At least I'm the only one with the will to act on it.
The Mad Titan Podcast with your host, Jay Washington.
What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It is episode 23 of Mad Titan Podcast, right here with me, your resident supervillain, Mr. Jay Washington. What's going on? I am actually recording this on St. Patrick's Day, so if you get this tomorrow on that Monday or later on this evening and you are drunk as shit listening to me, congratulations. You decided to make a good decision while you're, inebriated. And I appreciate you for it. Let's get right into it. With me, I brought him back. I don't know why. Shit has got bad in my life that I have to keep bringing this dude back. And it's like, yo, I just really must not care about the people or the listeners. But it's BC, man. What up?
I'm so hungover, Jay. I was on a parade yesterday. And
you were on a parade?
I was on the parade, and there was so much alcohol involved.
I mean, there was, yeah. I got mad.
So there's this group though, they was asking for beads and stuff, right? So I went up, I had these dope beads, like, yo, we want to get those beads. They had this microphone. So I get the microphone. I'm like, yo, let me get the mic first. I'm like, yo, follow me on all my social media at Real Jackass BC. And then I give them all the beads. So I'm still letting the world know, even while I'm drunk in a parade.
Hey man, that's how you live your truth, I guess. I didn't get a chance to do anything last night like I wanted to because I had to do a show. I did this show at this spot in Van Nuys. First of all, I refuse to ever call it the Van Nuys Comedy Club. It's in the side of a bar. It's not a comedy club. It's a stage on the side meant for bands. So I do this show, and this drunk dude's in the front. You know, people getting blasted and getting fucked up already on a Saturday. And this dude in the front row, older white dude, getting fucked up, and he just talking shit through every comic set, no matter what, nonstop. And the dude who producing the show, who promotes it, he just sitting there looking at this shit. So finally, when I go up, I do what I got to do trying to shut him the fuck down. I go down and talk to him like, yo, you can need to be the fuck quiet. So dude keeps talking. At one point, I look over the dude like, yo, is you going to let this dude keep talking through the whole show? So dude barely gets up. So I literally am ending my set with the words, let me say something positive. I'm positive I'll never do this fucking show again. And and so I leave. So when I go out, some dude like, well, what am I supposed to do? I got a bad leg. I don't give a fuck about your leg, bro. It's professionalism with a show. You don't let this motherfucker keep talking all night. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about not even just my set, everybody else beforehand.
Stand-up comedy sounds so much like indie wrestling.
Don't you think I fucking know that? It's the exact same fucking industry. It is the exact same industry, bro. Like, it's terrible at times. Like, everybody be like, how do you deal with a lot of this shit in stand-up? I'm like, because I dealt with it in pro wrestling. Exactly. They're like, it's the same? I'm like, yeah, and it's fucked up. I got to relive this shit over and over again. All I need is some boots and hear the words, look, we changed the finish. Those are the only words I need to hear now. But nonetheless, for those who are new to the podcast, who don't know what this is, I get you caught up on everything that's happening in the Marvel and DC live action cinematic universes. Basically, if they wear a Cape Cowler mask, I'm talking about it. It is barbershop talk for nerds, which means we're going to keep this shit all the way 100 if you haven't noticed already, okay? All right. So let's get into it with the first story of the week in our Marvel news. And it's arguably the biggest story now that has happened over the past week. And that is James Gunn is officially back as the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 director. Disney has reversed their course. If you remember back in July, Gunn was fired for some old tweets that were pedophiliac jokes and whatnot. This is only due to the fact that a very right-wing conservative on Twitter was like, hey, you guys fired Roseanne for a tweet. Why don't you fire James Gunn? Now, there's a difference. Roseanne's tweet was racist in the moment. James Gunn's tweets were old from 2008 and 11, which had already been addressed, which had already been brought to the forefront, and Disney knew about them. So now they reverse course. There's word coming out. Supposedly they actually had this deal set months ago. They were just waiting for the right time to announce it. And also, it does mean Gunn now is officially the first director to simultaneously have two major superhero films, team-up films, in both of the major superhero franchises at the exact same time. And when I say that, I don't mean they'll come out at the same time. I mean, he is the director for both of them at the exact same time. Yo, this shit is crazy, bro.
Do you remember when they had first fired him, and then there were reports of they were bringing James Gunn in for a meeting, and they were like, yeah, nothing came about. He's still fired. I guarantee that this meeting was, hey, dude, we're going to bring you back in a couple months.
We got to let this die down first.
Yeah. I'm interested because, you know, with James Gunn being off and looking at all of it, how it was, I was like, we're not going to get Guardians 3. I don't care what they say.
We weren't.
Because I figured the only reason we ever got Guardians in the first place is because we did not have Fantastic Four. Right, so now that we have Fantastic Four, why do we need Guardians? You could do a Star-Lord movie and you're just fine. Do as Guardians of the Galaxy and you're just fine. Let the rest of the Guardians stay dead, whatever you have to do, blah, 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 blah. Everything's fine. But now that James Gunn back in the mix, does this mean we're still moving forward with that cosmic universe that they wanted, that they were talking about, that he was going to spearhead?
What do you mean? Are we still going to move forward? That was always the universe was always, Phase 4 was always going cosmic, no matter what.
I figured Phase 4 was now going to be an overhaul and change and go mutant. You know? And I was like, okay. And this was again under the understanding that James Gunn was gone. With the
I get what you're saying. No, I got you on that, but I'm saying that was never going. Kevin Feige had always said, no matter what, we were going cosmic Phase 4, no matter what. So the fact that Gunn wasn't at the helm of it, I get the trepidation of being like, yo, we probably might not do this, but they still were gonna do it regardless. I think the biggest thing is not the fact of the cosmic, you know, the cosmic realm and the cosmic universe. It was how are they going to go about it? Because they wanted to do Guardians 3 no matter what. Let's just keep it all the way real. The problem was they could not find any director that wanted to take on Guardians 3, and rightfully so. The only director that could have possibly taken Guardians 3 would have been a pretty unknown director who had balls of steel.
Yeah.
And so go ahead.
I just figured I'm just, you know, just looking at it without James Gunn, I was like, why do we need it? Because we have the Fantastic Four. I don't think you could do the Adam Warlock with just Star-Lord. You could just, you know, you just call it Star-Lord. You put Groot and Rocket in a Thor movie. Why would we need a Guardians 3 without James Gunn?
But now
you bring James Gunn back. Does that mean we're still going to, is this going to push forward that alleged possible Ravengers movie that we're going to get with Sylvester Stallone and all the old Guardians, as they like to say?
I think that's a side note. You know what I'm saying? That's a side note, possibly. Because again, Disney does have a lot of untitled films because they have a lot of shit slated. So we don't know what's coming where, besides the fact we know Doctor Strange 2 is coming, Black Panther 2 is coming, Black Widow is coming, and I think that's about it that we really, and the Eternals. So go ahead.
And how much does James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy 3 change now? Because this is a new world now, just like the Ant-Man movie had to change.
No,
this is a world, but this is a world where even in the cosmic, you could add in new characters. You can bring in the Silver Surfer. You can bring in Galactus. You can change things.
Again, I get all the questions you're asking. I get that, and I respect all that. But the answers have already been delivered. Because remember, even if the film was going forward without Gunn, it was using Gunn's script. And again, Gunn's script was set in motion. We don't know exactly what characters are involved, but it was set in motion with the notion that the deal, set in motion with the notion. That was some dope shit. It was set in motion with the notion.
It was dope if you hadn't have stopped mid-sentence to acknowledge
I couldn't
what
help
you
it.
did.
I could.
You got to finish the sentence and then acknowledge. Oh, by the way, look what I did in that sentence. That was good, right?
But it was already known that, Gunn probably knew what was going to happen with the inevitable Fox Disney deal, and when shit would more than likely close, which now we found out. I'll talk about that in a second. But all that is possible had already been known. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about a man who writes the scripts, who Kevin Feige directly trusts. Again, he would not have put the cosmic universe in his hands. And when he also said we're going to do this universe. But going back to when you said about that meeting that Gunn had with Disney, you know what else I think let us know that this shit was still happening, that Gunn was still going to have the job? When Batista got silent.
Because he did shut up quickly.
He shut up somebody must have told him, yo, shut the fuck up. And this is what's happening.
I bet it was Gunn too.
I bet it was Gunn. I really believe, he's like, I appreciate the way you're doing it. I respect it. I'm grateful. But listen, this is what's happening, and you cannot sell a word. And knowing Batista comes from the pro wrestling world where he knows his WrestleMania plans, that's easy for him. Again, and also, you can't do a Star-Lord movie by itself. I know people going to listen to this and be like, yo, Jay, you fucking crazy. Nobody is trying to see a 2-hour or 2.5-hour Chris Pratt movie by himself.
I mean, it's not Chris Pratt by himself. You have ancillary characters, you add in other people and whatnot, but you focus it on Star-Lord and him finding out more about his past and stuff like that.
I guess,
and
bro.
And it's him that goes up against Adam Warlock, which eventually, I believe, because I don't know the comics as well as you do. Warlock is actually a good guy, right?
He originally thinks that the Guardians are the bad guys.
Yeah,
and
so
inevitably he's like, oh, they're the good guys, and basically the Sovereigns are the bad people.
Yeah, and so you do something where it's Adam Warlock going against Star-Lord, which eventually ends in them having a team up and them taking on the Sovereign.
Yeah.
So it's possible, but again, with Gunn back, who knows?
I mean, again, I hope for the best. Now, I also bring this up because there has been a lot of backlash, of course. And the backlash being, oh, we're letting somebody back who said these type of things, blah, 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 blah. But for everybody who has had that backlash, I say, like I brought up earlier, these tweets were already brought up when he was hired. Because why was it brought up? This man came from Trauma. For those who don't know Trauma, please Google it. And I'll give you one movie just to follow the whole lineage of that. The Toxic Avenger. You know what I'm saying? So I wish people, I hate that people are like, yo, why they gonna bring it back now? This is really problematic and shit like that. And it's not.
Dude, I'm glad I was entirely too drunk when the announcement hit, because I didn't.
Well, the announcement hit Friday, so
I missed all of it. I missed all the backlash. I was just like, oh yay, James Gunn is back. Swell. More alcohol, please.
But it's just, it's real dumb. People just want to say, oh, well, I don't feel good with that because he's back because he said these things. Yo, again, Twitter all the time is not a verifiable, guaranteed definition of who a person is. People have dark senses of humor. Let's just keep it real. Anthony Jeselnik has made his entire fucking career on a dark sense of humor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he'll catch backlash and still keep going. And as far as James Gunn, this is the type of director, the type of person he is. We know this. So I just don't get people sometimes, bro. I just don't get it.
The internet is going to hate. You could do everything you want properly, and then somebody is still going to hate.
No matter what.
Nothing you can do. They are going to hate. I would like to say that the majority of people are going to get the F over this, and things are going to be just fine.
Oh, of course they are. You don't even have to like to say it. We know what's going to happen. Let's just keep it real. It's automatic. It's guaranteed to happen. People are going to be like, yo, we good, man. Let's Let's go for it. All right. Endgame comes out. That's why this shit came out on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It came out on a news dump day. Comes out Friday. If you caught it, you caught it. Most places already, most websites that blurb about it and do website write-ups on it, they already dropped it on Friday. Very few are going to talk about it on Monday. Since certain shows will. Very few are going to talk about it Monday. All of a sudden now we're in the midst of this Avengers Endgame promo train, so that's what it's going to be. And I think people need to understand this. Like, everybody, again, is not perfect. People fuck up in the past, or I wouldn't even say they fuck up. Some people are just say things a certain way. And humor, again, comedy, as a stand-up comedian, comedy is not for everybody. And I know people will say, well, if you've got to offend people or disrespect, blah, 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 it's not comedy. That is not true for you. I think to the point where you just don't go blatantly just, I'm an asshole. I think you could say, for instance, as a black person, you could say a certain black joke. You can say black jokes about me or about my race if they're funny. But if they're not funny and you just saying some shit just to say it, I'm gonna call you out on it.
What was it? I think it was George Carlin. I'm not sure, but he said everything can be funny, but not everyone can make it funny.
Exactly. So, I mean, at the end of the day, let's just see what happens and we're going to move forward. And moving forward, the Avengers Endgame trailer officially dropped. It is no teaser. It is the trailer. And this trailer has clearly been seen a lot. In the first 24 hours of the trailer's release, it was seen 268 million times.
268 million times because it's incredible. Did you see it? There's so much stuff and things happen and I didn't watch it, Jay.
Is it really so much? You haven't seen it?
I did not watch it.
Well, you know what? That's because you're one of those people now who decide you want to go into a movie blind.
I'm at a specific point that I'm like, okay, y'all have shown me enough. I'm already in. Now, don't get me wrong. There are still some people that need to see it. Like my mother, she needs to see the trailer. So she's part of the 200 million some odd people that watched it.
Right. But also, here's the thing.
Me, I'm good. And I've heard good things about it. I heard it was really cool how they did it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The trailer is dope. And the best thing about the trailer for me, and as I've said it to anybody else I've been, whether I've been on any type of correspondence network or just talking to them in conversation, the trailer gave you really nothing. The dopest, and why I say that is the only people we see in the trailer are the people not affected by the snap. That is it. We see the snap with some people. I'll give you a quick synopsis of it. We see some people being affected by the snap, just maybe one or two, if three at the most. But we don't see it.
I've heard a few breakdowns, so I kind of know what happens. Like me personally, it's more of like imagery. I don't want to see the imagery before I see it on the big screen. You know what I'm saying?
Which is fine.
I know what happens in the trailer. I just didn't want to see it.
Well, that's fair because you'll probably see the imagery of you probably seen the pictures of Hawkeye's haircut, which is going to be I hate to say it, white boy staple for the next 6 to 8 months.
I'm already working on it. Have you seen the Boss Logic picture of it?
No, I have not.
Yo, go check out Boss Logic on Instagram. His Hawkeye mohawk is pretty dope.
But you know what? I mean, but that shows the transformation and transition, into Ronin. So that's happening. But another thing that's really, really trying to get people talking, we see Hawkeye training a young girl to be an archer. Now, a lot of people are speculating that could be Kate Bishop, his illegitimate daughter. But I just thought it looks like the same farm he lived on. So I don't know if it is his illegitimate daughter or relative or whatever the case. We'll have to find out. But evidently him looking so dark and despondent, just beat up is the clue that his family was taken away in the snap.
I don't see Marvel doing the illegitimate child for Hawkeye after how they've built him. I would assume they would just meld that into his actual daughter.
I can see that.
That would be my assumption of how Marvel would do that, but I don't know. Who knows? Again, and I hear that it starts out with kind of like a recap of all the MCU, which I think is a great way to do it too.
Of how we got our heroes to be where they are today. We with the exception of the Hulk, because we can't see his origin, because his origin is a Universal film. For anybody who was wondering that, why don't we see the Hulk's origin? His origin is Universal, so it is not It is not
But
Marvel's
they
call
could
to-
show some of that, can't they?
No, that's a Universal film. The characters
But
don't loan.
they've
No,
showed in the
they've not.
opening Marvel logo. Have they not showed a scene with the Abomination before?
Have they?
I believe so.
I mean,
Because
it
one of my favorite images is always that one of him getting ready and doing the yell.
Oh yeah, with the shoulders rolling and
And
whatnot.
it's always
I get you.
yeah, it's the other Hulk version. So I believe they can show it. They just can't do their own solo Hulk movie.
And also, I think they can't. I mean, also for the crawl, it's not a long amount of footage.
Yeah.
So with it not being that long amount of footage, you don't have to credit or whatnot. So because of what they did with Iron Man and Captain America and even Thor, that is more footage than they're allowed to use.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? So, but again, I'm hyped on it. April 26th, this movie drops. It will pretty much be doing, it's going to do what it's going to do. The numbers are going to tell. What you laugh for?
I said it's gonna do what it's gonna do. Huh?
It's
you ain't duh. It's gonna murder is what it's gonna do.
Right. We already know what's gonna happen. If you got any movie, if you're a studio that has any film that's scheduled to come out between the first 3 weeks of Avengers, you are pushing it. And I know Disney is one of those. Disney has a film as well, but at the same time, they're not losing money. It's all in the same bank account.
I'm so hyped for this, dude. I'm doing a legitimate rewatch of the entire MCU.
I saw that and I really was like, oh, he needs to get laid.
Bro, I mean even the 300 hours of TV and 21 films, bro. I'm a little behind already. I'm still only on I should be past season 1 of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Daredevil and all this, but I'm not. So
I'm choking. You just made me choke, bro, because I can't believe you really are doing this. Let's move on now. Shang-Chi has its director. If you didn't know, Marvel Studios are doing their first Asian-led superhero film, and they're moving full steam. Hold on for a second. Let me get some water. Hold
on. Don't die there, bro. I mean, that's not good.
Hold on.
And it's not a good joke to have, given about a year ago.
Oh man. All right. All right, I'll pick it back up from here.
You good?
Yeah.
You gonna cut all this out? You can keep it in.
I'm gonna cut it out.
I think you should keep it in.
All right. Too much air. I can edit the dead air, whatever. Like I was saying, Marvel Studios have their first Asian-led superhero film, and it's moving full steam ahead. The film now has its captain to helm steer the ship. Destin Daniel Cretton, who's from Short Term 12 and Just Mercy, he will be the director for this movie, which already has Wonder Woman 1984 writer Dave Callahan on board to pen the script. Now, we don't have a cast yet, but it is said that Marvel is looking heavily into getting Asian and Asian American actors for its cast, predominantly, which I'm so happy for. We always talk about how representation matters and how, especially in film, even superhero films, and when it comes to the representation, it's not just the character itself, it is the cast, the supporting cast around it, and they are doing a damn good job at it, man.
That's one thing Marvel's always been able to do. They're always able to find the right director to put in, even if it's not some kind of name or something that's going to sell. They're going to bring him in and they will make him a name, and he will be thought out after that. You look at this guy's filmography, and I mean, he's got some stuff on there. He's got some good things that people recognize, but add him to a Marvel product, and it's really going to put his name out there on a grander level.
Absolutely.
And that's the same thing you're saying with casting. They know how to cast. They have not look at Black Panther. That's exactly what they needed to do with the Asian community here for Shang-Chi.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so hyped about that, man. I'm waiting to hear more information as it comes. Again, Shang-Chi goes into phase 4 as well. So that's another film we get to add to that. Speaking of Marvel and Disney, as I talked about earlier, Disney has set March 20th as the official closing date for the Fox deal. So if I'm not mistaken, Disney, basically Marvel Studios, could have already been doing post-credit scenes and different things already added, but they cannot officially add them to products or show you things until after that date. So I still stand by my original theory. Endgame could have a post-credit scene with mutants, could have a scene with Reed Richards, could possibly have the Surfer. We never know. We never know.
So that's why the Captain Marvel post-credit scenes were so lackluster, because they couldn't do anything with the new properties yet.
Well, also, is it? I mean, so the scene with the first scene with what was the first? Oh yeah, her showing up at Endgame. That's fine because we did that in Ant-Man. Remember was it Ant-Man?
Yeah, it was
The Civil War clip? Yeah.
Ant-Man leading into Civil War. Yeah,
Right.
and it was also the first Avenger leading into the Avengers.
Right. So we did those things. So that's fine.
Yeah, no, but I was really hoping something that involved man, I forget what it's called now, but the ship that the Fantastic Four are on in space getting lost or something.
Well, I mean, again, I didn't, you know why I didn't expect that? And I'll say this. I didn't expect it because this is to set her up. This is to set her up going forward. And that would if you did that, it takes all the momentum away from her film instantly. And I know some people will be like, no, they'll be like, no, it doesn't. Yes, it does, because Captain Marvel is a setup film to set up who the newest Avenger is and what's about to happen going forward. If you set up the Fantastic Four in her film, you don't give a shit about her going forward. You're just now focused on the Fantastic Four and not Captain Marvel. So it is what it is. But nonetheless, that is happening on March 20th. So we'll see what we officially get come April 26th when Avengers Endgame hits theaters. Now, I will have seen it probably beforehand. Hopefully, if the dates line up, I've seen it a couple of times, but we will see. Speaking of Captain Marvel, yeah, well, hate me and love me at the same goddamn time. Speaking of Captain Marvel, she has made $550 million at the box office so far this weekend. It is possible she will pass $700 million by the end of today, which is Sunday as we're recording. We won't know until tomorrow, Monday, when the box office numbers officially drop, or later on in the evening. But it is almost guaranteed that Captain Marvel is another billion-dollar property worldwide for Marvel. So for everyone who kept saying this movie's going to bomb, it's going to suck, they're not going to be repeat viewers, clearly there are.
Yeah, dude, it's doing incredible, and I'm really happy for it too, because it is a really fun movie. It's just entertaining, and I've had people ask me, tell me, well, I heard it wasn't that good. I'm like, well, you heard freaking wrong. It's freaking incredible, and what they're able to do with the CGI and that de-aging technology.
Yo, that's Samuel L. Jackson. He looks like Augustus Gibbons in Triple X. I'm gonna forever stick to that. He looks like Augustus Gibbons in Triple X, and it's a great look for him. But you know what? It works. The setting in 95 works. And the biggest argument I've had with people now has been, well, the whole situation with the Tesseract makes no sense because the Tesseract fell underwater. And how did Marvel get it in the Air Force? SHIELD is a joint venture of the military and NASA.
Exactly.
SHIELD is a joint venture. SHIELD is not its own thing. And when I say the military, that is all the branches of the military.
It's just like its own separate branch of the military. Like they all work within each other.
Exactly.
Makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense. So to say how could Marvel had it, her character being on Earth is a scientist. And because she was working on something extensive, again, SHIELD is around in the 90s because we see Coulson and Fury. They are agents of SHIELD, even though Coulson's a rookie. She could have gotten it because she wanted to do something else. Now, I had an argument with one of my buddies. It was a discussion. And he was like, well, how does she survive a blast of energy like that? I was like, yo, it's the hero's journey. It's the hero's journey. It's not, well, somebody else would have died. Yes, I get that. Destiny, as we all have seen in all of these cartoon or comic book films, has been the person who becomes a hero has survived a major incident for a reason.
Is they're strong enough to revive something that normal people wouldn't. They have that thing in them that will help, that pushes them forward. They have that heart that makes them survive and stand up more.
But some people don't get that. But nonetheless, I still say
that's because some people are stupid.
I won't say that just yet. But if you have not done so, please go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/JAY Washington 80. My spoiler review is up, man. I break the film down and put it in full perspective. And I don't pull any punches because y'all know how I do here. So why would I pull punches on my reviews? Go check it out and you'll get a better understanding, especially if you went into this film with an open mind and was not expecting to see some bang up, all action packed galore ass film right after Infinity War, because that's not what this was meant to be. All right. That is pretty much all the Marvel news we have. Again, Cloak and Dagger returns to TV April 5th. I've yet to watch episodes 1 and 2, even though I have access to them. And so I wanted to say that to make BC mad again.
I hate you.
Mm-hmm. Hate it or love it, the underdog's on top. I don't know why I decided to start singing 50 Cent. I don't know why I decided to do that. Let's go to DC news, man. This is some news that made me super fucking happy. Titans on the DC universe officially has their Deathstroke in Esai Morales. It looks that him playing Deathstroke, the way he may be going about it, may be the way if you saw the Nightwing fan film that was on YouTube a couple of years ago. He might be that type of mercenary. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember the fan film.
Oh my, it was a fan series. It wasn't even a film, it was a series. It was like 5, 6 episodes or something. Yo, it is so dope. Go check that out if you have not. It is on YouTube. It is amazing, bro. It is fucking amazing. And Esai Morales is an accomplished actor. He's been around for a while, and he's gonna play the same level of Slade Wilson that we're used to seeing. Now, I have to bring that up because there's some issues with Slade Wilson I know exist as the character. I do know Slade Wilson fucked a teenage girl. I get that. And I think that's what makes him a villain. Villains do creepy shit. Now I know everybody's like, but Jay, you call yourself Mr. Mirakuru and all that. I'm not fucking no teenage girl and doing creepy shit. I just want you to know, I'm not finna sit there and go around each state talking about so what's your legal fucking age? Nope, not gonna do that at all. All right. So I'm happy to see where this goes, man. Thoughts, bro?
Okay. I'm excited. I'm on board. I have one issue. I am really attached to Manu Bennett as Slade Wilson.
So that is my same issue. I am so attached to Manu as Slade, and it hurts like fuck. It hurts like hell. I really don't want to have. I didn't want to have to accept that he was gone, but I knew when they said he would be gone as Deathstroke, it was because of Titans. So, but I wish they would have brought him over. But I think if you'd have brought Manu Bennett over to Titans, that would have done something I'm not sure they want to do yet, and that's connect two universes.
Exactly.
I think the DC universe is meant to stand alone from the DC TV universe.
And my other issue is I was pretty excited to see Homey as Deathstroke in the movies.
Manganiello.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Seeing him at the end of Justice League was the biggest bust a nut moment for me personally. Again, everyone knows the two biggest. I'm a super villain fan. So if it ain't Thanos, it's Deathstroke. Plain and simple.
Exactly. So to see our third Deathstroke now, I'm kind of going, okay, you have some big shoes to fill because I loved Manu Bennett and I got super hyped for Joe Manganiello. So what are you going to do to make me look at you and go, I'm really excited this? The one thing this dude does have going for him is he is in one of my all-time favorite Pauly Shore movies, In the Army Now.
Are you Are you fucking serious? Are you
Don't tell me you don't like In the Army Now. It was a great movie.
Ezra Miller and Grant Morrison are currently writing their own Flash movie script, and the reasons being
you are not gonna go right past Pauly Shore in the Army Now. You are not gonna ignore me.
The reason being there are rumors that Ezra Miller may be replaced as the Scarlet Speedster. Now, Miller and Morrison are writing it as a bid to keep Miller on as the Flash because their tone is supposedly a bit darker than what the one is working, the film that the two current writers are working on now. It's more comedic in heart. So, yes, I'm going to keep ignoring BC, and we're going to talk about that right now. How do you feel about Grant Morrison and Ezra Miller possibly trying to save Ezra Miller's gig?
Well, I mean, it is the fourth highest grossing movie that Pauly Shore's done, behind Encino Man, Son-in-Law, and a Goofy movie. So, I mean, most people really do enjoy In the Army Now. You hate me, don't you? No, no. Look, when I saw this news, I was a little bit confused. I didn't know Ezra much of a script writer. Has he written anything before?
I think that was the thing that got me as well, because I was like, yo, what is he written? And I guess he liked the way he's playing the Flash, but you want it darker. I'm confused because the Flash that we've seen in both Suicide Squad as well as Justice League was kind of comedic. And isn't that the tone of the Flash? By the way, the ones that are writing the Flash movie now are John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein. Just wanted to say that. I'm sorry about that. They wrote Spider-Man: Homecoming and Game
That's what
Night.
I thought. And I thought they were perfect to write this version of the Flash with Ezra Miller, because he was kind of the Spider-Man that they've put together. Whether that's the Flash that you're used to seeing or not, that is the Flash we were getting. So I thought they were a perfect set to watch. So why would they now be trying to take Ezra Miller out of the situation? It's a very, the Flash has been on such a roller coaster of a ride since the announcement of it.
It's weird because he's the only one. First of all, let's talk about the roller coaster of directors that we've gone through. I don't even think we do have a director for Flash, the Flash movie now, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember who it is. I don't know if
we have a new one. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, I think we have that. But remember when initially it was announced that Rick Fujihara was going to be the director, everybody was like, yo, this is the dopest shit ever, because of course he did dope. And it was like, let this happen. But we're at this point now where this film has just been in limbo. Of course, at first it was supposed to be a Flashpoint film to reset the universe. Now it's not. So I don't know, man. I just hope the best comes out of it. But either way, I think if you replace Ezra Miller and you go darker, I think that's because now we're setting a new tone with the DC film universe. We're not keeping all of the same energy, if that makes sense. Granted, Aquaman is still the same, but at the same time, that's Jason Momoa playing Aquaman. Yeah. Wonder Woman is going to be Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot plays the way she's going to play it. Zachary Levi, I suppose he's great in Shazam. We don't know what's happening. We still don't have a Batman, and we officially don't know if Henry Cavill is going to stay on board. So I guess it's just a matter to see what we're going to do with the big three. And by the big three, I mean Flash, Batman, and Superman, because of course Wonder Woman is set. I know she's one of the Trinity. I know she is, but she's set. You're locked and loaded with that. You're good. So I guess we'll just have to see how that plays out.
So man. we had Seth Graham Smith set to direct first, and then he dropped out due to creative differences. Greg Berlanti came on to write and direct after the script had already been set up by Lord and Miller, and then he left. And Chris Roven was set in to take the place. And then he left. And then they said Rick Fumiyama was going to do it. And then he left.
Bro, it's just been very confusing.
Robert Zemeckis' name is in there. Matthew Vaughn, Sam Raimi, Mark Webb. Good Lord. I forgot how many of these people. Jonathan Goldstein is signed on now to direct.
Okay, so he is right. Okay, because I was like,
and Francis Daly, yes, they are both still signed on technically to direct,
as well as right. So because
as far this thing as February,
because this thing has gone through more directors than what movie was I just about to say? Fuck, I just had another movie in my head that went through a bunch of directors. Nonetheless,
the Army Now.
I swear, I will fucking fight you, bro. I've never thought I would just directly threaten somebody on a podcast like this, man. But I will fucking fight you, fam. I'll fucking fight you.
On your totally awesome supervillain squad, your Patreon. Mm-hmm. Do you have where people can like write in questions and stuff?
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna join your Patreon.
please join the Supervillain Squad, by the way, patreon.com/Mr. J Washington, and I will answer your questions, even if the question is about fucking Pauly Shore, because I feel like that's about to happen. So go ahead while you're talking. You can go ahead and you're on your computer. Go to patreon.com, join the squad, boom, and you might even get a shout out on this episode if you join before the episode is done. Let's go to Arrow, man. Arrow now. Team Arrow is officially working with the SCPD, and they don't like it because they have to dress in police uniforms, and I don't blame them. Black Canary, Dinah has issues with the nerves in her throat because when she got a throat slit, her canary cry hurts. And that pretty much explains why we go into the future and she doesn't do her canary cry. She just fights. Another big Easter egg that I don't know if people really caught on to. Connor Hawk is Bronze Tiger's son.
Oh, wait. I didn't catch on to that. No, I thought he was Diggle's. Diggle doesn't have a son.
Diggle doesn't have a son.
Diggle has a daughter now. Oh my God. That never, you just blew my mind literally right now. Holy crap.
You didn't pay attention. So he was like, hey, little Connor, that's my little Hawk. Connor Hawk is Bronze Tiger's son.
Holy crap. That is such a genius little twist. I did not catch that one bit.
Hell yeah. See, I catch on to shit like this, bro. Emiko actually killed Diaz the week before, but nobody still knows that she's working for Dante. And so the crazy part was how Laurel tried to confront her and Emiko was like, who gonna believe you? Huh? Black Siren? Who gonna believe you? I was like, well, damn, that's how you pull somebody's card real quick.
Yep.
Eventually, Oliver and the team, they get back to the bunker. They tell Diggle that they're expecting a baby. Now they're able to work as their own special task force, their own SWAT team, and wear their own uniforms, which Wild Dog is happy about. And I still hope Wild Dog gets shot in the fucking face.
Dude, what's with the hate for Wild Dog?
I just fucking hate the Wild Dog character, bro. I just really do.
Bro, he was in Coach Carter.
Yeah, I know. And that's why I kind of hate him still. But, we'll see about that. So let's go into the Flash, man. We just talked about the movie. Let's talk about the TV show now. We're getting more Jesse L. Martin, and I can never complain about that. I can't.
Dude, loved it. This was one hell of an episode too.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to bring up. In fact, the fact that the Flash tries to find the words to convince Cicada to take the cure, and then he goes. So again, I'm still not sold on Chris Klein as Cicada, even though you are.
Oh yeah, I'm all in.
But he convinces him, and here's the issue I have. Why the fuck does Barry keep revealing his identity?
Because it's a CW television show.
Okay, that would really make sense.
That is literally the only reason I could find anything. And it's just like, hey, look, dude, we're on CW, so I got to tell you who I am because superheroing and stuff.
Because I'm like, you can convince him and tell him you a daddy without showing your face?
Yeah.
Like, you ain't gotta see who you is, but nonetheless, he does convince Cicada to go take it. They hit his ass with the cure. When they hit his ass with the cure, they bring the black lady doctor in. They hit his ass with the cure. All of a sudden, it is the dagger. The fact that they knew it was working because the dagger was losing all its power. I'd have threw that bitch away so fast. I was
hell yeah.
Soon as I saw the dagger stopped having ability, man, I'd have threw that shit out the window. But in the process, they don't know what's happening, but another Cicada appears. And when I first saw it, I kind of automatically knew who it was. I was like, yep, that's who I think it is. And it's actually the older version of Grace as Cicada.
Which we kind of got, teased in that earlier episode when they were stuck inside
Grace's mind.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was whooping all their asses. She was beating the dog shit out of Team Flash, and with those two blades.
Yeah, I was interested to see. I didn't think they were going to go this route. I didn't think it was going to be this easy, and we're going to take out Cicada. So with them immediately bringing in, because I thought Grace would show up later seasons or something, because how the CW likes to do that. They like to set something up and pay it off way down the line. This time They were just like, nope, we're just going to do it right now.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense because it was inevitable that you had to take. I mean, you keep Cicada, but you take this Cicada out the equation. Excuse me,
Exactly.
and it works the way they're doing it because now you know what I'm saying. She kidnapped him out of Star Labs. Which, by the way, how the fuck did she find Star Labs? That's. But I get. You know what? I think about it. She's in the future, so Star Labs is now a museum.
Yeah, that and just everyone can just walk into Star Labs. Like it's
Pretty much, everybody just walk
why
in like,
no one ever looks at it and goes, "Hey, what's going on at that half destroyed building that seems to still have power?"
Well, no, they actually rebuilt it. Remember, they made a museum, and they did that in season 2 or 3 to try to help explain it.
Oh, that's right, they did. That's
They tried,
but
they
when
had
they
to-
show the exterior shots, isn't it still half fucked up?
it do look like they just said we're not gonna do any type of new CGI on this. We're just gonna leave the same one.
Come check out our new museum. It's half fucked up.
And guess what? You get in for half the price.
Maybe Star Labs is over in the hood. They just didn't want like look, it'll fit in, it'll be fine.
That's so fucked up. Star Labs is in a poor neighborhood with all, and that's where all the money is. Yo, that is so fucked up. Also, what do you think about the fact of the black doctor getting her ass murdered?
Oh, yeah. That I didn't see it coming at all, man. Like I thought that was, she's one of those characters that it's like you can kind of see where she was going with. You're on both sides over here. So I guess her being taken out is kind of something to go to. Like we need to kill somebody to make this real. Who can we do? She's kind of expendable.
But I think also, and I agree with that. I definitely agree with her being expendable as shit because that's what the fuck she was. But the fact that she'd been around since damn near season 1 and we forgot about it until they showed us, let us know a lot.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot that too.
She's been around since season 1. But also, I think what they did was they developed a motivation to have Orlin, the old Cicada, have a reason to try to stop his niece.
Yes.
If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? It's a reason for her to try to stop because she was the one person out who cared about him and Grace. And now that Grace killed her, you know what I'm saying? Because they never took the piece of fucking, they never took the piece of the shard out of her head, which I was like, okay, we're just gonna let Shorty live like this, huh?
Yeah. So, which is, it gives that little bit more of humanity to him. It gives that a little bit back to him and really helps push the character forward a little more.
But I think you know what? I agree with you, but I think they were trying to do that from jump because they were telling us his reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They were basically saying the reason why he wants to kill metahumans is because they are, a metahuman being the thinker, basically is the reason why all this shit happened to him and messed up Gracie and all that. And I'm like, okay.
But what was always funny about his journey was he was a dick, and then he became a better dude, and then he became an uber dick.
Oh man, he was a hellified dick, bro. He was an extreme dick. Like he didn't even like his niece.
No, not at all.
Like,
there was nothing likable when you first meet this guy.
He was like, why am I even caring about you? Eat this bologna sandwich. This ain't prison. This ain't prison.
And then you're just like, oh, well, he had a good day with his niece, so now he's a good guy. Oh, really? Now we care about him? Oh, no, now he's a dick again.
of one day we give a shit now. Like, this ain't
and he has a different voice. He's no longer peppy. He's really dark, and I'm going to talk like this because this is how supervillains talk. And I was in American Pie.
I have asthma and no one gave me a Primatine Mist. Because that's what he sounds like. But I mean, now we're like I said, we're in episode 17, so we're in the home stretch of the season. So of course the bigger bad becomes a bigger bad. But I'm still wondering if Red Dawn is coming. Not Red Dawn. What the fuck was the name? I think it is Red Dawn. Is coming next season.
Yeah, it's
the Batman Flash.
Yeah, but I think we have to get through season 1 of Batwoman first. So I think it'll be 2 seasons away. I think we'll skip a season and then we'll see that.
Well, that's again, we have that is based on the fact if this show lasts, because as I talked about last episode, Stephen Amell is calling it quits after 8. Next season, that's it. And it's only 10 episodes and it's ending at the crossover, which I'm like, cool. But I feel like
Here's what I'm thinking though. I'm thinking Arrow's riding off into the sunset, right? And I don't think Stephen Amell's gone for good. I think we'll see him show up on other shows here and there. But I think Flash takes the lead.
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree.
Why?
I think he dies because that's the deal he made with the Monitor in Elseworlds.
Oh, Dick, you're right.
Remember, he had this. Remember, the lives of Barry and Kara were gonna die, and he had to sacrifice something to keep them alive.
Yep.
So, I think that's what he's not gonna be around. He's gonna die.
And so the Elseworlds crossover is going to bring that in.
You mean Crisis?
Crisis, yeah.
Yeah, so Crisis is going to bring that in, but we'll see. Like I said, this season of The Flash,
hey, I got to ask you because I wasn't on last week when you talked about it. Do you think Stephen Amell's going to sign with AEW now?
I really believe he is.
You think he's going to go full-time wrestler?
I think he's going to go wrestling for full-time. I mean, what else? He doesn't have to. He literally does not have to work.
No, he doesn't. So, and he's good enough. He's got a good enough base. He can get better. So,
I pretty much see that happening. I'm pretty much with you. I see that fucking happening.
Okay,
so
I just wanted to know because I didn't know if I had talked to you about it or not.
No, I don't know if we talked about it, but I think he's going in AEW full time. And I mean, it's the only logical step. He doesn't. We tried to be an action star for Stephen Amell in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and no one gave a fuck about that. Okay,
that was the Turtles' fault. Like I love that movie, but that character was terrible. They did Casey Jones wrong.
Yeah. So let's go into Black Lightning, man. We're in the penultimate episode.
I'm so far behind on Black Lightning.
Basically, Jennifer has her suit. She's a superhero now. Jeff, because you like China and McClane.
I love China. She is the sweetest person on the planet.
She's one of the sweetest, coolest people. We birthday twins too, so that's what makes it.
Oh, that's dope as hell.
We're birthday twins, and so I remember we talked about that when I was down there for the set visit. But now Jefferson has to talk with her about being a superhero, and he gives her the superhero code. Like, yo, you can't just be trying to murder people. Basically, you can't just kill Tobias because you're no better than him, even though he did kill Khalil. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of get it because there has to be a difference of what makes us you don't have to kill somebody if you just because you want to. It has to be you had no other choice.
Exactly.
And basically saying that you got other choices. The fact that Lala is back and causing havoc, and the mad scientist who was played by Eddie Kane Jr. is the greatest shit in the world to me. The fact also too, you see Lala get into it with Cutter, and he takes a bunch of knives from her like quickly, like she was hitting his ass with blades, and then she was like, "What in the fuck?"
Cutter is a beast, bro.
And you know what? It's credit to, I can't remember the actor's name who plays Cutter, but she's making this shit so much. She's bringing so much volume to the character that you're like, shit, I don't want her to die when this is all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see her come back in season 3. Agent Odell, which again, Bill Duke is the man. He knows who the Piercers are. He knows everything about them. He knows Jefferson's Black Lightning. He knows Anissa's Thunder. And he was like, he looked at Jennifer and was like, whatever you calling yourself, little lady. Like, she don't have a name yet.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a name.
What is her name in the comics?
Lightning.
So, okay. Oh, and the other one's Thunder. So she's just Lightning.
She's just Lightning. Thunder and Lightning.
Gotcha.
And, it was one of those things, too, where I was like, man, for the sake of the show, I understand the comic book lore and the source material.
Change
you just not call a Lightning. Can you call a little something else?
Come up with something a little more clever.
Just a wee bit more, just a little bit. I mean, not too much, not too little. Also, man, at the beginning of the episode, Cape Guy is back, man, and he gets shot the fuck up by the police. Yo, I love the fact that we keep reminding people this is what happens. Yo, young black people can be murdered by the police. And granted, it's set in the superhero realm. That's the credit to Salim Akil, who's like, I want to show you a superhero story, but I want to show you real things that go on in the Black community. And he definitely does that. He doesn't beat people over the head with it. He doesn't over exaggerate it. He tells it in the way that it actually is.
That's one of the things I've really enjoyed about Black Lightning, especially season 2. They're not beating you over the head with it, but they're not pulling their punches either. And they're letting it breathe. They're letting it be itself. And especially for a show on the CW, I can't believe some of the things that they've let them do. And it's amazing that they've let them do it.
Well, I think that is the fact that they've let them do it. But you see other shows that have hit a certain level, a certain point. Remember, Arrow did a whole gun control episode. Now, I understand it is not the same thing by a long shot as far as Black Lives Matter per se, and unarmed black men and women being murdered by police.
Yeah, but that Arrow felt forced to me. That episode
it was
felt
hella forced.
Very forced. Black Lightning never feels forced. It feels very easygoing and flowing and fits the narrative. Every message they send fits the narrative.
Yeah, I agree with you completely on that. It does fit. I just think they were trying to heavy-handedly give you that gun control, gun legislation message in Arrow when we had Oliver Steele being the mayor. But yeah. But also, again, that is a credit to the Berlanti-verse, how they've always hit on very, current socio-political issues, where you have Supergirl who's talking about the immigration thing and people not liking aliens and saying we need these borders protected and, all these things. So it does it. But again, I also have said this season, Supergirl has gone super heavy-handed, which I pulled away from. I know a lot of people are saying I should still watch it. I just couldn't. Like, I'm one of those people that are always like, I'm here with you already. I'm on board with you. You do not have to beat me over the head with this, because people who are on board are your fan base already. Your fan base already knows the story you're telling. The fan base who knows these shows and knows the, production and the executive production and showrunners and whatnot, they know where this show is going and they know the type of messages they'll send. You just don't have to beat people over the head with it.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I get falling off of Supergirl. I'm still on because, I'm still on Gotham. So I'm just on. It's a superhero show, so I'm going to continue to watch it, whether I like it or not. But I've enjoyed Supergirl this season for the most part, but I do get the overtones of them beating you over the head with things. So
I respect that, man. I respect it. It's just, certain things happen. So again, we'll see what happens come the season finale this Monday. So if you receive this on Monday, tonight is the season finale. If it's Sunday, you get it. Tomorrow's the season finale. Either way it goes, the season finale is wrapping up. Do I say this to y'all or do I just keep this a secret? So I've seen the season finale already.
Ooh.
I've seen it. I saw these.
I done seen it.
You gotta do that, Craig Robinson. I seen it. I synced it, but yeah, I think this season finale is gonna be like, yo, you're gonna dig it so much because I don't want to spoil anything, but I just let you know it's gonna keep you on the edge of your seat all the way through. So be excited for that.
I'm excited.
Doom Patrol is another dope episode. My full review is up on my YouTube channel with Winston Marshall. For those who want to hear a little bit of what I think about it, Diane Guerrero as Crazy Jane needs to be nominated for all of the fucking awards when it comes out. For an actress who is already as good as she is, to be able to play multiple characters, to switch in and out of that and do it flawlessly, seemingly, with the cameras going, is a great thing. And that woman needs to be praised for that. This show is getting better by the episode. I am so on board with it.
I'm still behind. I'm on episode 2 right now, but I do really enjoy it. Like, literally my only negative is the opening credits. I don't like the credits.
Why not?
Because, okay, like the Titans credits were so distinctively DC and Titans and felt different and unique. The Doom Patrol credits feel like a Marvel Netflix show.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
And I get it. Again, why is it important? Why does it matter if I like the credits or not? That means in the scheme of the show, that doesn't mean dick. Whatever.
I get it.
The show is incredible, but I don't know.
don't like credit. I understand. I get that. Like, I didn't care for the Iron Fist opening credits. So that's me.
Oh, me neither. I was so excited for those too.
I didn't care for the Iron Fist open credits, but I get it. But I think Doom Patrol is so dope because it's showing you everybody. You know what I'm saying? I think it's dope because it's showing you everybody. Of course, like I said before, I am not watching Gotham. You can talk about it if you want to, but you can have fun with that. Go ahead.
Oh, I am a little bit behind, but it is so bad. I'm trying so hard, but it's just so bad. The only thing that keeps me on it is Cameron Bicadova, who plays Selena Kyle. She's so good in this role, and she just sucks you in and makes you believe. And then she's paired next to little baby Bat, who just is, I guess he's supposed to be a douche, but he's such a douche. And I hate it. He even has like a haircut, and you're just like, why does Batman have a DJ Pauly D blowout? It makes no sense. And I'm someone who's a fan of DJ Pauly D, but why does this little kid have a blowout in Gotham? It makes no damn sense at all.
I couldn't stay with it, and especially when they keep showing Shane West's Bane. I'm like,
I'm an episode or so behind, so I saw them create Bane. I saw Shane West come in as Shane West, and they give you the backstory of how him and Gordon are all war buddies. And I'm like, well, that's just stupid.
But also, why can't we not make Bane a Latino man, which he is? Yeah. What is so hard about this?
Don't get me wrong. I love Tom Hardy's Bane. Loved it. It is the main reason why I love The Dark Knight Rises, because I love Tom Hardy as Bane. But damn it, I agree. I want a freaking luchador Bane.
Like, he is supposed to. Like, I don't know why they can't do that. What is so hard from casting the actor as exactly what he, the character is Latinx. So like Latinx, whatever. But it's a Hispanic dude, or Spanish or Spaniard, or whatever you want to say. But that is, I don't understand that. And for anybody who may say, where there's not a lot of probably good actors that can play that role, that is a fucking lie. That is a total fucking lie.
Yeah.
So that shit completely irks me, bro. But that is another story for another day. Again, man, I think
you couldn't get him. You couldn't get him on Gotham, but man, I would love to see Batista as Bane.
Speaking, by the way, since we're talking DC, and I forgot to bring this up earlier when we talked about James Gunn, yes, he will be still doing Suicide Squad 2. So he is doing both films. I did say yes, both are happening at the same time, but nothing has changed. Nothing. So
I'm intrigued with Idris Elba on there now. I'm a lot more intrigued for the Suicide Squad sequel.
I was always intrigued. I'm not gonna lie.
Once they announced Will Smith was out and Margot Robbie was a glorified cameo, I was immediately like, okay, because again, I'm in that camp that actually enjoyed the first Suicide Squad movie, with the exception of the third act. So, but once it came out, I'm like, it's not like I'm not gonna see it, but I was like, okay, I need to see something.
Well, this is how the podcast and our friendship ends.
But I was like, look, I'm not on board. I was less excited when Will Smith said he was out, and then they go, okay, well, it's scheduling conflicts, which we all know is Hollywood talk for bullshit.
No, it's not. No, it's actually scheduling conflicts.
I know, but then it comes out that because everyone was like, well, he probably just turned it down because they said the role wasn't big enough, and Will Smith, doesn't want a small role. And then they announced that Idris Elba took it. I'm like, well, then it's a real role. And then they announced that Will Smith is playing the Williams' sister's father. So it's obviously legitimately scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, and he's got to do Bright.
And what's making me mad is everyone's talking about it like Will Smith just passed on it for no damn reason. I'm like, wait a minute. This is legitimate scheduling conflicts. Would someone bring that up somewhere?
Yo, you can't try to justify. It should make you mad, and it very much should. I think that is about all we got this week, man, for the podcast. B, I want to thank you for joining me again. Appreciate you as always for killing my listeners and killing my reviews and all that shit. But
I'm always happy to murder other shows.
This week we didn't have any calls to the hotline, but please make sure you call the Mad Titan hotline. Get your questions, comments, concerns in. 818-276-6947 It is a free call. 818-276-6947 If you are one of my overseas listeners and you cannot, you don't want to call and make that, record an audio sound on your, record a sound bite on your phone, clear quality, and email it to me at madtitanpodcast@gmail.com. madtitanpodcast@gmail.com, and you will get it there. Okay. So do not worry if you overseas and you're like, man, I can't call. So you can definitely get it in. Also, again, like I brought up earlier, make sure you guys join the Supervillain Squad on Patreon, patreon.com/Mr. J. Washington. Here's shouts out to the Patreons, to my newest one, California Joe Ashley, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining on your birthday. Happy belated birthday. Appreciate that. Akeem J. Brown, Brandon Buckingham, DJ Snacks, John Mariano, LK, Mickey Lito, Paisley Darts, Rudy Rueda, and Steve Tozen. Thank you guys all for being a member of the squad. I did not forget that BC said he was supposed to be joining the Patreon, but he didn't. So he lied to me. He lied to you all on this podcast live. It is recorded. It was heard, and it's here, and he didn't do it. So now y'all know what real friends do. They lie to you on air while you're recording.
Well, I will let you know that I have written down the phone number, and I will be calling in and leaving some voicemails. That's most def going to happen. Whether it's about In the Army Now or Encino Man, it'll definitely be about those, or possibly the Venom sequel, because I know you're really excited about what's going to happen with Venom.
I wish you nothing but herpes.
Bro! That was harsh.
I wish you nothing but the flaminess case of herpes. I pray that your testicles decide to go back in and stay in your anus and never come out.
Bro, God.
You tell me I'm happy for the Venom sequel again, I'll go even harsher. But hey, man, go ahead and let the people know how they can find you.
You can find me on all social media at RealJackassBC, RealJackassBC. My podcast, It Is What It Is, goes up every single Thursday on Cinelinks.com and the Offshoots Radio Network, wherever podcasts can be found. Follow me on Stardust, where I am reviewing everything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm talking every single movie, all 21 films, plus like 300 hours of television between now and Endgame, because I have no life, so why not?
I'm so sorry. I don't even want to laugh at that. Also, I am on Stardust as well. You can find me, Mr. J. Washington, on Stardust.
I did.
Also.
I saw that you just reviewed Leprechaun in Space.
Bro, this shit was on as soon as I came from the house. And I said, you know what? Let me at least watch 15, 20 minutes of this. And then I wanted to fight everybody.
I was like, why is Jay reviewing Leprechaun in Space? That had me busted, bro.
I will tell you that my review of Leprechaun in Space, as of this time as we're recording, is currently trending on Stardust. So I think I might win from that. But find me everywhere, like I told you, Mr. J. Washington, MRJAY. You know how to spell Washington, Twitter, Instagram, Stardust, all that. The YouTube channel, youtube.com/JAY Washington 80. This week, I will be back in Chicago. I am going home. I will be at the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo, better known as C2E2. I will be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Saturday at noon, I will be appearing at the Chuck Load of Comics booth, man. I will be there, booth 1846. I'll be there at noon. So make sure you come by, man. Say hi, take a picture. Let's have a conversation, chat it up. I will also be doing their Comics on Film podcast. So I'll be a part of that. I got a bunch of stand-up shows coming up in Chicago. I know I need to update my website. I've been busy trying to do so many things to get my life together. I will be at Comedians You Should Know on Wednesday. I will be doing some show in the South Loop on Thursday. I have it put up. I will also be doing undergrad comedy Thursday night. Friday, I will be at Don't Tell Comedy. I can't tell y'all what the place is, so just so you know I'm doing that. Saturday and Sunday, you can catch me at the Laugh Factory. Monday, I'm back here in LA getting ready to do more dope shit. All right. Thank you guys for listening as always. Thank you guys for responding and commenting. Thank you guys for engaging with me and allowing me to be a part of your nerddom and your nerd world. And I appreciate you all for sharing it with everybody else. It means the world to me, and I sincerely mean that. I will holler at you guys next week. Till then, take care. I'm out of here. Peace.